thinking that everyone is going to be mean is really you being judgmental of other people. It's, you know what I
It's
mean?
like a reflective thing. Welcome to Leaf Notes, the podcast that helps your business take root and grow. I'm Adrienne Marshall, seasoned business owner and speaker.
And I'm Sydney Mafuka, artist, illustrator, and small business owner.
Join us each week as we take you on a journey through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. We'll dive into everything from social media strategy to protecting your business.
We'll even answer your burning questions such as, do I need a business plan? Should I form an LLC? Where should I promote my business? And so much more.
Together with our guests, we'll break down these topics into actionable steps, helping you build the business of your dreams.
So whether you're just starting or you're looking to scale, we got you covered.
So go grab your notebooks, your favorite beverage, and cozy up to receive practical insights and inspiration here on Leaf Notes. Let's go make your business dreams a reality. The last time we chatted, you were going through all the gambit of things that you have to do to get invited to one of these brand ambassador or content creator events.
Yes.
It was like a lot of hoops that you had to jump through.
A lot of things to remember when you're, well, not a lot, but then remembering the hashtags. Like remembering to have a local
presence, right?
Yeah. So,
which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because events are like local, right?
So, like in hindsight, it makes sense because like how else would we think it was going to happen?
Yeah.
Although we were thinking we could just like
pop in
RSVP.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
With my free ticket.
Yeah. No, they gotta know who you are.
Who you are, which makes sense. Okay, so what did you? Where did you go from there?
Well, it was yesterday, so I didn't really. I didn't really do anything, so just think about it.
Yeah.
But so what I'm thinking is the first thing I need to do is make more lifestyle content to make it feel. I need to do that more often to kind of get myself into that
space.
It's that space because right now it's very art-like.
Yeah,
and that's cool. But I really want to broaden that because I too want to partner with Mustang. I too want to be a Mustang partner 2024. I don't even drive, but you know what I mean? It would be nice. Just have it sit out there.
So I think I made the suggestion that you would partner with a tech that you use on a legitimate basis.
Yeah, for sure.
So were you going down that path?
I think so. And I haven't, so that's also something I can put on my action items. Because again, this was yesterday, y'all.
It was just yesterday.
Yeah, so
you're cranking through these.
We are. To you guys, it's like a week apart, but to us, it's like the next day.
The next day.
So, but that's something I want to look into, like, Procreate, Adobe, seeing how their events come about, who they work with, that type of stuff. It'll also be cool to maybe partner with, because certain apps. Yeah, because like Procreate's an app. So certain apps will have partnerships, or I wonder if Pinterest maybe does partnerships with people to promote using them. I know people promote Notion as like a planning app. You know what I mean? Like
they do.
So I'm wondering if there's like other apps that I use regularly. Yeah. That they could benefit from me promoting them. Yeah. Or being part of their events. I mean,
like even your Apple Pen, right?
Yeah, but Apple don't need to sponsor nobody. Only people Apple seems to be sponsoring is like the techie people. Like Marquise.
Like love shout out to Marquise. Yes.
I remember when I was a teenager, I would watch Marquise because you would make me buy my own phone. Right. Oh my goodness. So I would watch his videos to figure out what cheap phone I could get that was good quality.
He is the best.
And good price. So he was doing it before, like he was doing Androids before he was doing like high end Apple stuff. Yeah. It was really, really cool how versatile his content is. But yeah, I never, and this could just be me living under a rock, but I've never seen Apple really work with like artists promoting them.
No, I haven't seen. I don't know. I'm not sure. I do know that, of course, they flew him out and some other people for their event late last year. But they seem to be in the tech space, like you're saying.
But also now that art has become now that art is becoming the tech space. When you think about like motion media, that counts as an art. That's how people make commercials and make them dynamic. Animation. I don't do these things, right? But things that I do is like, I can animate a little bit in Procreate or whatever,
Right.
or on Adobe After Effects. But and I illustrate, and I do that digitally. But it's interesting to not really see that Apple having to promote that as much, even though I would imagine that a lot of people who have an iPad have the Apple Pencil to go with it to either take notes or to draw, right?
Yeah.
It's not just, I mean, do you have an iPad?
No, I'm in the Android space.
That's true. Do you have a tablet though? 'Cause I'm trying to get, I guess the thing
I use my why am I looking over there? Because it's my laptop, like legitimately right here. I use my laptop. It's a phone, the 360.
And so and you take notes on that. So yeah, like I think people, I don't know. I again, it could be me living under a rock, but maybe also Apple don't need paid promotion because people are just using their stuff.
They're like the standard. Like it's very similar to what we were talking yesterday about Sony. Like all the content created, like once you begin to take your content creation really seriously, your next step is to get a Sony camera.
Yeah.
And I never see Sony advertising it because they don't have to, because
people are doing it for them already.
Exactly.
So
that's where you want to be, right?
Yeah, that's like a dream.
That's like a dream.
Yeah. I've seen people advertise LG before Sony.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like other smaller, even LG's not even that small. Like
right.
A lot of people use LG, but you're right. That is very interesting that you get to a certain level and you don't need to.
You just corner the market.
Yeah.
Because like the same thing, if you are a content creator, same thing. We all know, or if you're an artist, you got to have an iPad or an Apple product. You got to have a MacBook Pro. Like everyone knows that. So they don't really, every once in a while you see a MacBook Pro commercial. Everyone's or ad.
Yeah, but not really.
Not really.
They don't have to as much.
Only when they're launching something new, maybe.
Yeah, but even then, all they gotta do is do a keynote.
All they gotta do is do a keynote. Yeah, I know.
Or post to their own personal YouTube channel, because Apple has a YouTube channel.
And you know what's crazy? I know we're off on all the tangents, but kind of it just relates.
This is interesting. Yeah.
Even though I don't have a single Apple product, I still watch the keynote.
Wow, that's so interesting. And I bet their competitors do too.
But I'm not even watching it it's just because it's just such a production. I mean, it's
an event.
It's an event. It's just beautiful to watch.
Well, because we're always wondering what they're up to, what they're going to be doing next, introducing next, Yeah. So I think everyone's just like, ooh, what are they about to do?
What are they about to do?
Because to be honest, like it does feel like Apple has released groundbreaking technology. You know what I mean?
Everyone else is kind of falls in line.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, cool. So are you thinking about your first step is that you're going to kind of write down what you use in everyday life and then do some research on those brands?
I think so. And then see how I think the best thing to do too is to see how I can make content showcasing
lifestyle
these things.
So you're going to start doing that too.
So like, even though I use a standing desk every day, even implementing that as like a simple part of like, because these would all be examples of what the content would actually like look like in that's what I'm kind of thinking, right?
I think that's a great idea. And especially with this, I think you should start off with I love giving you assignments, but I think you should start off with a standing desk, mostly because you reach out to them for them to collab with you. And so it would be really cool for you to do this content. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, so I could try to see, because I've seen a lot of videos of them like building it, but not like of people like
actually using it.
Well, I guess I've seen people use it, but it's like, I don't know. I want to do something creative. You know what I mean? Because I want to show that I'm using it. But I've seen people do that where it's like, boop, 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 I just raise it up and they just keep it going. They're working, but it isn't like the highlight. You know what I mean? I want people to be like, ooh, what's that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can figure something out.
But I think, like practicing, obviously lifestyle content, that'll also just be fun. So I'm not like putting myself in the box and feeling like I have to come up with art every single time I'm doing a video.
Yeah.
To come up with lifestyle content and then also coming up with content that's surrounded by the things that I already use
and love.
Love. I think that'll help me even just get like a portfolio, because then let's say my Flexi Spot desk video does well, then maybe it's happened before to people. Maybe you'll reach out to me and be like, oh, you want to try this new gadget that we got?
That's how they sound.
Yeah. That's really how we Flexi Spot.
Oh, do you know what else I've seen other content creators do? They do, and you would love this so much. They do like a plant, like show all the plants in your space. I have seen random people who are like their content has nothing to do with plants, but just because they film in their space where the plants are all around, that they're like, let me just take the time out and just show you all the plants in my space in their stories.
That one. Yes, that one right there. I love plants. I have so many.
Yeah. Then you can show you can show the grow lights.
Yeah.
And all your stuff.
I can show my things.
All your things.
Oh my goodness. They're gonna be so tired of my monsteras. That's all I have.
Oh my god.
Like, this is one monstera. Another one. They're gonna be so mad. How many do you have? Like 10, all from one plant.
You guys, let me tell you. So, sidebar. So, one of my hanging plants, my hanging basket died. So, I made the mistake of asking Sydney for a replacement. And this child here brought out like 5 that I could choose from. Like, it's like a selection in front of me. And there was a story for each one. So, yeah, that would be really, really great to do.
I think that's your
assignment?
I think so. So, I think my assignment is to take note of the things I use on a daily, keep that in mind, because I could even be just like,
and jot them down too. Like, have your little space you can jot it down.
Yeah, because that could just be anything, like from my printer, from like, you know what I mean,
even the paper, because the paper and like the sticker paper, like all those things.
That's so true. So like, so take note of all those things, and then I want to plan out life. I guess in this one, I'll just do a lifestyle reel, and I'll also do a regular reel that highlights one of the things that I use.
I think that's a great idea.
And go from there. Yeah.
Okay, I have something to ask you too, you guys. So I don't know if you guys remember, was a few episodes ago where one of Sydney's action items was to create a YouTube video. And she was so nervous about it. Y'all remember that one? Well, Sydney released her second one, or uploaded, whatever they call it. What do you kids call it?
I don't even know. I uploaded it.
She uploaded her second one. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Because me and Alex watched it, and it's super cute. So I just want to get an update from you, because it seems like you're getting more comfortable with the long form format. Tell us about it. Dish.
I think, oh my gosh. So I think I need a camera. I am enjoying it. I think it's nice because like my first video that I posted, it's been 2 weeks and that has like 600 views, awesome. 600, almost 700 views. So it's really inspiring, because with like short form content, you're used to it not really lasting a very long time. You know what I mean? Like the first week max, usually you'll see that traction go down.
Yeah.
And people forget that exists unless they just rediscover your page and they're like binging your content, which is always cute. Like, I love people when they do that. But with this, seeing my views just go up day after day, subscribers come in day after day. Like, it's really nice, There's a lot that I need to learn. Like, the editing process is a whole thing. It takes a long time. Yeah. I think like it'll be a little bit less daunting when I get a camera, because like I'll run out of storage on my phone when I'm filming, because drawing takes a long time for me. So it'll be hours of content, and exporting it from my phone and airdropping it to my iPad, or waiting for it to sync through to iCloud. It's a lot.
It took you hours yesterday, right?
It took me hours yesterday to upload, but I'm wondering if that was because I wasn't connected to the extender, and I was only connected to
the router.
Yeah, so that could have been the case. But I feel good about uploading long form content. I think it's again still scary. Like, I still doubt myself when I put it out there. You know what I mean? But my community, they're really supportive.
I thought your one yesterday was really good.
Really?
We enjoyed the intro especially.
Really?
It was so
my gosh!
beautiful.
I thought it was so cringe.
It was great.
I was like, oh my god!
Look at all the sand. Look at all the sand.
I mean, because I each video. So this video, I know I'm going to a tangent. It's a podcast. You can do that,
let's
right?
do it.
It's allowed. But yeah, I mean, I write down each video, or I guess this time I only did 2 videos, but this time I wrote down things I want to improve on from like my last video, because I just feel like if I just keep stacking things on top of things, then I'll one day have like these very polished videos. You know what I mean?
It looked good to me too, sis.
Thank you. But yeah, so I wanted to make it more immersive. I also wanted to have like just like I just didn't want to just be my face the whole time.
And you were like, close your eyes. Me, I was closed to.
Yeah, when you called me, you were watching. So I mean, I felt really grateful, because I mean, not everybody has people around them that support them in that way. Sometimes it's like, oh, you're starting a silly YouTube channel. Well, good luck. And then they want to be like, you get 200,000 subscribers. You're like, oh my god, I supported you from the beginning, girl. From the beginning, from the jump, girl. I was like, bruh, you told me it was silly. I should get a real job. But that's fine. That's cool. I'm glad to have your support.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt really grateful when you guys called.
Yeah, we loved it. We loved it.
Sweet. But yeah, so I think it's a little bit of a learning curve, like putting yourself out there in that way and being seen in that way or perceived in that way. But I feel like it's the beginning of me having more genuine connections.
Yeah.
'Cause I do get that with Instagram. Like, whenever I'm feeling down, there's always those 5 people.
Right.
Those 5
and
people.
You know who you are.
I know them by name. We talk in the DMs. You know what I mean? Like, there's just that I know will always like show up for me. And I think that's always encouraging. But imagine with YouTube, with them like actually being able to get more of my personality and stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like then I can see myself having a solid community of creatives who are just trying to just create colorful art and stuff.
And it was so cool though, because I turned on the tubes and it was like one of your subscribers posted a video. Let's see who it is. And it was you. Oh, you know what? So toot is your horn. And this is a toot to Leaf Nose too, because this podcast, I think it's made me better also, because my reels. Can we talk about it? You guys remember that episode where I was trying to figure out how to do the trending audio and all the things and the cap cuts and all of that? The last 3 reels that I posted have been doing so well.
I bet you've been so consistent too. And I feel like Instagram rewards you for that, like for being consistently posting.
Yeah,
especially if it's consistently engaging content, like what you're doing. You know?
Super engaging. And I think I found that sweet spot. So the past 2 times I posted, they were like at early in the morning on Saturdays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because that's when people are just waking up and laying in bed.
Gotcha.
And they're just like. Sometimes, and I don't. Honestly, sometimes it feels random. Right. Like sometimes it just feels like just post whenever. Because there's been times where I posted like smack dab in the afternoon, and it just popped off.
Yeah.
So like,
who knows?
Just post whenever you post. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what's also crazy, I know it's super tangent, but still it's relevant because I like to go back and talk about things we talked about before and see how they're working. What I found was interesting, those same videos did not perform on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is funny.
Yeah.
TikTok is funny. I don't know how people do TikTok. Maybe that'll be a video where we both try to do,
because we both are doing, because we figured out. I feel like I'm closer to figuring out Instagram.
I think like on Instagram, I know TikTok, they have stories. They have like the same things Instagram has, but Instagram's layout just feels more organic. I think because most of us have been using it for a longer period of time than TikTok. But I feel like Instagram is easier to engage with your community, and I just feel more like you said. I feel like I understand the app a little bit more, than TikTok, which feels weird because it doesn't feel like your work is really being pushed out to your audience. It feels like it's being pushed out to the abyss, and hopefully
somebody will see it.
Hopefully someone will see it, and when a bunch of people like it, then it gets pushed out to like even more people, right? But while with Instagram, it does feel like even if you don't get all 40,000 of your audience or 50,000 of your audience,
at least a portion of them.
It gets a portion of your audience first, and then it feels like then it kind of branches out from there.
Got you.
I don't know. I'm not like I understand. I don't.
Yeah.
Either one. I don't understand either one. But like you said, I've experienced more success on Instagram than I have with TikTok. I also heard that with TikTok now, they have like horizontal like YouTube format
Oh,
videos
do
now where you can
they?
make it full screen and turn your phone,
Hmm.
which is now they're pushing that kind of content apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do an episode on TikTok.
We will. And I
Yeah,
think you should repost some of your YouTube videos on there and see how
that's a
they
good
do.
idea. Why
Yeah.
don't I do that?
Yeah, because that's
Just
just stuff
see.
that exists,
Hmm.
you know?
Might as well. It'll be good just post right. I have Demare do that. Shout out to Demare. She's
Whoop, whoop,
amazing.
whoop, whoop, whoop.
She's the one that's responsible for our YouTube channel doing so well. But we almost have our watch views up for monetization.
Very
Isn't that great?
good.
But yeah, so I'll see if she has time to go and do the same thing that she did with YouTube. But all she did was repost our content that was on IG up on YouTube.
Yeah, so maybe the long form YouTube
Mhm.
stuff.
Right, try it and see
Try
how it
try and
goes.
see how it goes.
Yeah, but another episode. All right. Well, we're circling back. So you're all good. What you
Yep,
gonna
so
do?
the action items are just to like bring everyone back to center. We're going to I am going to look around and my area and see what I use the most
Mhm.
and then see what content I can create that revolves around that thing.
Yep.
And then I'm also going to create like plan and create lifestyle content too.
Mhm.
So
Are you the plants one first?
gosh, I do want to do. So would plants count as lifestyle?
Yeah.
I was thinking either that or like what I've been. Maybe that would be easier because also maybe.
Do you
Okay,
know why I want you to do that one? Because you're so passionate about it. I think that will really shine through.
you think so? Okay,
Mhm.
so I'll do a plant reel,
Mhm.
and then I'll do maybe like a flexi spot that's
Yeah,
real
yeah.
or something.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and I'll just plan out how to do that, and then I want to look into like the different apps and stuff that I use and do
Mhm.
research on like do they host events like
Yeah,
and what
right.
that looks like
Exactly.
because so there's a lot it kind of sounds all jumbled up but don't worry guys you're coming along with me
Yeah, it'll
so
all be
it'll all make
together.
sense. Yeah.
Perfect. Cool.
All right.
Cool. I love it. See you guys.
Hello, Sid here with an update. So first and foremost, I went ahead and let me see, can I find it? Here it is. I wrote down a list of all of the things that I typically use in my workflow and on a regular basis, including like my desk, my iPad, my laptop, certain softwares like Pinterest, CapCut, all those different things, and I wrote them down. And then I did a little bit of research on the iPad, and I just wrote down a list of all the PR agencies and stuff that I found. And I will say it was really, really difficult. Well, okay, that's a lie. So certain things were easier to find. Like it was easy to find Adobe's events, which was really cool. Even though none of them are coming to Atlanta, at least I know where they're going to. And I was able to even fill out a form and be like, this is where I live, have events here, because they're still looking to like branch out and stuff. So that was cool. And then I was able to also find PR stuff for them as well, and then for Dell, which owns Alienware, which is the kind of laptop that I have, and then for FlexiSpot 2 and for Pinterest. The ones that were really hard to find, which was really sad. Oh, and for Procreate, which made me really happy because I couldn't find any events or PR agencies that they worked with, but it seems like some of these big companies have their own in-house PR people as well. But yeah, I was really sad to see that there weren't any Procreate events since that's what I use the most, more than Adobe, but I was still happy to find a contact because then I could still reach out to them and be like, hey, if you ever have any events or have anything going on, like I would love to be considered. So yeah, here's kind of a list of the contacts I found, and I even wrote down the Adobe events and where their locations will be just so I can be aware of that. And yeah. So during this process, I kind of felt a little bit discouraged. I don't know why. I think it's like now I know the part where I'm going to be putting myself out there is coming up because a lot of these events are not easy to find, but I knew that not from the get-go, but from our last video. So I feel like it shouldn't be scaring me as much as it is, but it's scaring me. I'm very intimidated, but I think it will be just fine. I also guess I did start to feel sad when I found that like big companies like Apple, I couldn't really find any other PR agency contacts and stuff. It's like everything but their PR agency. But maybe it's because they don't really need it. Maybe they're too big for that. But again, it's like that's the biggest thing I get asked is like, what do I use? Same thing with Procreate. So I hope that maybe I can make something happen with that. But yeah, I guess I'm feeling a little bit discouraged because on Instagram, it's so easy to see people's highlight reel and see people getting invited to these events, the events that I can't find. I just start getting into this imposter syndrome sort of thing where I'm like, ugh, am I even good enough to be invited to these events? It's not like I'm just a person. Like I'm not anybody special, except, I am special. We're all special, but you know what I mean. I get into my head a little bit, and I feel like in this case, it started off as something exciting and it became something really, really intimidating. Even though, the biggest things I feel like we're meant to do, or the biggest things that will cause the most like impactful change are the things that typically scare us. So I think it's okay. I think it's all going to be okay. And I am happy with the contacts that I found. On top of that, I wanted to share that I did post a reel that kind of highlighted the FlexiSpot desk. I didn't make it the center of the video because I didn't want it to make it seem like I got gifted this or anything like that. But I did want to show it off and talk about how it has been helping my workflow. And I went ahead and also asked my audience, like, what gadgets do they have in their little setup, whether it's at work or at home, that impacts their workflow too. So that was pretty cool. So I'll leave that video probably here. Hello, welcome to Productive Day in my studio. I'm Sid, and can we take a moment to appreciate this standing desk? It has been saving my back. Between this desk and my slippers, I have been set. So if you have a job where you're sitting for a long time and you work from home, I definitely recommend it. Anywhoosies, I am working on this octopus piece. Today I was mainly focusing on the body of the octopus while packing in some rich saturated colors, and I like how it's coming out so far. It's really, really vibrant, but we got a ways to go. To be continued. So I did that. And that was really fun to do, and it's been fun because I'm always so shy to do even like voiceover stuff, but I really want to do more content that feels like it separates me from other people, and I think using my voice is probably the next step to doing that. So yeah, it was fun creating that kind of content, and I'm gonna keep doing that. And even though this week I didn't really get around to making my lifestyle content about my most beautiful plants because I love them so much, it's still on my radar. It's still something I want to do. And I definitely want to do more lifestyle content because what's so interesting is that there is a creator, she recently went live actually, and she was live doing her hair, and it was really funny because she's an art influencer, but because she became the niche, she was able to just like do her hair on live and people not really bat an eye about it. And I thought that was so cool. But yeah, this is really awesome. I'm really excited and honored to share my journey with you. Yes, I'm a little bit terrified, but I think the next step will be to email some of these people and just ask to be considered or to be on their list for whenever they have events, wherever that event may be. One more thing I want to mention is if you are also trying to look up PR people or PR contacts, simply like what I did was for each company that I wrote down, whether it was Pinterest or Procreate or whatever, I said, I Googled in the Google search, PR contact for Procreate or Procreate PR contact, Adobe PR contact, and it'll take you not directly, but you'll find on the search their actual website page where it says like contact us, or it shows their contact, or an article that lets you know who their contact is. So that's an easy way to find them. And I felt like it was a little bit easier than trying to find what brand or agency they are associated with, because it looks like a lot of people have just in-house PR people. So I thought that would be really, really helpful. And I hope that helps you on your journey to PR or whatever it may be.
How are you? You look freshly dyed.
I am fresh.
Yes.
It's always so funny when I dye it. I'm like, whenever I dye my hair, I just want it to be like how it was, but just like a little bit closer to the root. And if I do it, it's just like, no, we're all in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going for it.
We're all in. So
yeah,
this is how I am for a little while.
It's good though. It looks nice.
Thank you. I feel like, it's very contrasty. It contrasts with my skin.
It's good though. How's your weekend? Are you enjoying this weather?
Yes, the weather's so good.
So good.
Yeah, my seasonal depression is gone. It's just really nice. And especially because we're in the South, it's pretty warm. It's perfect weather.
It is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, so you see you may not have noticed, but they started to stage the house next to us.
Oh, I didn't know.
Super cute. And so I was driving past and there was somebody out there, so I was just talking to her a little bit. We were just dishing. She was just dishing about the house and the house up the street and everything. Do you know how much they are pricing this house at?
$1 million?
No, but you're not far off. It's
800?
$869.
God damn. And there's barely even a backyard back there. It's cute. It's cute. But I'm just gonna so Jason over the weekend, Jason and I we were scrolling on Instagram. And there was this house in Wisconsin that was like, of course, it's Wisconsin.
Right. Right.
No one knows anything about Wisconsin. And I love it for that. You go. But it was like in like $300,000.
So nice.
And it was a big house.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I have mixed feelings because part of me wants to be like to anyone who's moving over there, save your money and just like drive 30 minutes away. But I also understand that like location, because eventually both of the houses, your house and that house, will be priced at $1 million. The way that things are going up around here. So I guess it's like
so crazy though, right?
It's so expensive.
It's so expensive. I was asking Cora, who can
afford that?
Where do they work?
They have to be like in IT. Like tech,
I guess.
I guess. Or like you, like a CEO of a business that's doing well.
Right.
But to be fair, people are making money. That's not.
Yeah.
So it's just, but that's expensive.
It's expensive.
I think no matter how much you're making, there has to be a limit for how much you're receiving, right?
Right.
Because when I look at like, in Selling Sunset, how they got
I watched the latest season.
I did it. I just don't know. Like, I get mad every time. It's like Love Is Blind too. I gotta like stay away because I start really like acting like they are my friend and like their lives are my life. Like, girl, why? What are you doing? Why are we fighting with her? Or, like, she is such a bitch. Why does she even have a scene right now? I get. Oh, like it brings out my cattiness.
Yes, it does. Okay, but tell us.
But how there'll be like these $10 million houses.
$10 million houses.
But to be fair, I mean, not saying the price is right, okay, but they got a good view. They got the infinity pool
for $10 million.
They got a basketball court in the basement.
But it's $10 million.
Yes, but $800,000 for nothing special. Like, you're not seeing a mountain behind you. Like, the house is a regular 2-story house with no basement. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a 3-4 bedroom house. 5 bedroom.
But they're tiny bedrooms.
They're not big. Like, they're not big. So it's like
it's just the value of the land. That's all it is.
But it's not that much land.
And it's not that much land.
It's not. Like, so I think like at least when you see like.
But if you remember me telling you, so we got really blessed with our property because their property is half the size as ours. Okay. And we got ours for $60,000. I want to say each.
For the half acre?
Yeah, so all together $60,000 together. So each one was $30,000, if I'm not mistaken. But our builder told us when he finished everything up that one plot was worth $500,000 now. And so when you think about that, then their house is $300,000. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's really the value It's the value of the land.
It's just crazy that the land outweighs like
Yep.
the house. But also it gets me, and I guess it just depends on what people value, right?
Mhm.
But for me, I think what gets me is that you can get cheaper houses in like places like Colorado where there's
Mhm.
mountains to look at.
Right.
Utah where there's beautiful landscapes and
But it's all
hiking
in what you
trails near
value,
you.
though, right? And so, like for
Mhm.
you value outdoorsy
Like,
views,
yeah.
mountains views, not really being around a lot of people.
Mhm.
But if somebody values being 10 or 15 minutes away from the city, being able to walk to the farmer's market, then that's what they value.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
different.
fair. But I guess for me, I see the extremes, right?
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna be near the city, we're gonna
To
be
be in
near.
the
We're gonna be in there. Like if we're paying this much money,
Can you imagine how much it is to live downtown then?
crazy. Those like the houses that are like are in Midtown. It's
Mhm.
like they are really really expensive and like people
Tiny.
they're tiny, like they're shoulder to shoulder. But
Mhm.
people who have money own
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But it comes to a point where it's like, is that even worth it? Which gets me into the feeling of like, is being in the United States even worth it?
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, because like when you just think about it, and I understand like because obviously everything is relative, right?
Mhm.
Because our currency holds some type of value, which is
Mhm.
very surprising considering where we are in society. I mean, come on. But anyway, obviously the US dollar is going to mean a lot in like Malaysia, Thailand, and other countries where they're not making even
Close
to as much as we are making, right?
Yeah.
So of course it makes sense to go and like go over there and live there and have a better life, know. But it does make me think about it because there's people who are paying $400 in rent for a hotel, not a hotel, for a 2-bedroom apartment in the city. You know what I mean? While people here are paying like 1,800 and up. And the thing is, it's not even just in the city. Like Jason and I were looking, just being nosy. We saw these apartments in Conyers and Conyers.
For all you like people in Conyers say they live in Atlanta.
They don't.
But that's not true.
They're
That's
like
like an
30
hour
minutes
away.
away. 45 minutes from the
Mhm.
city, like 30 minutes from us. Yeah, those were 1,800. I am
Conyers?
serious. I am so serious.
How many bedrooms?
No, it was a 2-bedroom.
Still.
But remember when prices were like 900 for a bedroom and then like maybe 1,300 for a 2-bedroom?
Right.
Prices, like, it doesn't even matter if you're in the city or not. Like, prices have just gone up. Same thing with where Gogo, one of like my grandma, where she lives, like Greenwood. There's nothing there.
No one's heard of Greenwood.
1,600 for an apartment.
Unbelievable.
So it's like it doesn't even matter where you are now. The house, just the cost of living is just insane at the moment.
Eddie, who is our contractor, says that the cost of building materials has really gone up as well. So I think that's part of it. It's something.
Isn't it crazy? Because like, I mean, can't we like recycle some stuff? It kind of gets me. Like, do we have to like, you know what I mean? Would it in theory make things cheaper if we just got like some old shipping containers from a train that they don't use anymore?
Why do all conversations with you go back to a shipping container?
It comes back down to just finding a way.
I just hear you.
Finding a way to like minimize these costs without it sacrificing, obviously. Or now there is the idea of like, purchasing a house that has been like abandoned and like
fixing it up
because those houses are like, I mean, obviously they cost money, but it's cheap relatively. Yeah, like $80,000 for the house, for the property, right? And then you can expect to spend a couple $100,000 fixing it up, depending on the size of the house, right? Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously, you never know what's wrong with it, right? Because the extent could be like the plumbing issue.
But worst case scenario, you just tear it down and start over. You're still, probably in a better spot.
Yeah, just because imagine you spent $60,000 on your land, right? If you tore down the house, like that's not much more than what you just paid just for your land for the house, right? Yep, exactly. So, I mean, but it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
We digress. So, where are we?
Oh, yeah. So, PR.
Tell me about it. What have you been up to?
So, a couple things. So, I did what we said to do, which was look around and see what I actually use on a regular basis.
You made a list?
I did make a list. I had made on a little sticky note. I didn't bring it up here.
That's
I wish I did, but I showed it to the blogs.
Yeah.
And I didn't just because the tools that I use are pretty minimal. So what I also did was just like software that I use and stuff like that, and to see if I could find events and the only company I was able to actually find events on, and it might just be because everybody's just so incognito, like they just wanted to be so exclusive, just gatekeeping. But Adobe, they have events. They're not in Atlanta. They're definitely, I'm not sure how they pick their areas, because it's like there's some in Washington D.C., Baltimore, Oregon, like Philadelphia. Then there's one in Miami. But so they're just kind of like I'm not sure how they pick their places, because it doesn't seem like they pick it, because I would have thought maybe they have some in New Jersey, but I would have thought like New York, California, like big population type of areas. I'm not saying DC has a good population, but you know what I mean, right? But it was cool to see that they had like events, and they seem like some of them are free to RSVP to or go to, but like obviously you would have to like travel to them, and stuff like that. But that was cool to see that they had some like around that they were open about, right? Where creatives could connect with each other, which I think is really, really
and it's
cool.
free, which is nice to see too.
Yeah, for sure. So that was cool to see. I looked up where their press email, so I could like keep that in mind. So when I'm emailing people, I can be like, hey, yada yada yada, I'm an artist. Keep me in mind if you have any events going on. I'm located in Atlanta, but I'm willing to travel, I suppose, or whatever. You know what I mean? What was disappointing was like when I got to things like Procreate, which I use the most, which makes me so sad. Procreate, they don't really have any events. I did find their press email. So I'll reach out, but it doesn't. To be fair, I've never seen anybody be like, I partnered up with Procreate to do this thing. It's always, I partnered up with Adobe to do this thing. So I wonder if they really do much like marketing. I'm probably going to follow them on Instagram and just see what type of stuff they're posting on their own professional page and see. But maybe it's just because so many people use the app and recommend it on their own that they don't have to really do much. Kind of like Apple. Yeah, which got me to the Apple thing. They also don't. Apple, I couldn't even find a PR email. I could find every other contact, but like a PR type of contact.
They're like, just do not reach out.
And then when I came to looking for events, it was just like their typical keynotes where they're like releasing the new MacBook or whatever, what have you. So and then so most companies that I like with the FlexiSpot thing, same thing. I found like it's interesting. A lot of companies have internal PR people, public relations people. So I was able to find like contacts for them, contacts for Dell, which is like my laptop's an Alienware, which is owned by Dell. So contacts for them too that I'll email. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing to see that like it doesn't really seem like anyone does any events. But it was really funny because during my break while I was doing this, I went on Instagram and I yet again saw another influencer. I'm so salty, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm like, yet again. No, it's great.
Who's she working with this time?
Man, I don't know, but as a gift for her going to this event, she got a Surface Pro. Who gets a Surface Pro as a gift? That's so crazy. To be fair, she has like over 1 million followers on Instagram, right? But I'm like, send help. Like I started to feel so I started to feel so discouraged. I was like, oh my gosh, like how are people because she flew out to the event and stuff like that. I'm like, how are people getting there? Like how is this happening? It's not even that I want a Surface Pro. I just want to go.
I think you're gonna have to start putting out the type of content, and then they will find you.
Yeah. Oh, and this is what got me. Okay, so last week when I was doing the agency, like looking up different agencies, right? There was one that like some of them I decided to just be on their email list. Because like I don't know, like they might, who knows,
right?
And that's true. Like whenever I went to any of the sites and they had like an email list, I was like, well, let me put myself on there so I can see what news they have. So one of the agencies called Brave, which is located in Atlanta. They had an email list where they had like little events going on.
So you gotta go.
So now I have to go. Like they had, what was it? I think it was like yoga or something at the Battery.
Okay, so this is a PR agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go.
So they had yoga at the Battery, and I got it in the newsletter.
That's super cute. But
yes, every Monday we need to see what time, but every Monday at the Battery, there's the yoga thing, and even then, like we could do, it'll get good content too. That's what I was thinking. Like I could get good content for social media, get into that lifestyle
there you
content.
go.
You know, slowly
edging
into there.
How do you feel about that?
I'm scared, man. I'm so scared because I feel like I had pigeonholed myself into really like art stuff. But tell me why. There's this art influencer that I follow. She's so cute. Like she's a person of color. I love her. But she had a live and she was just on there doing her hair. I'm like, aren't you an art influencer? But I'm like, girl, say less. Like, do it. She was the definition of become the niche.
Yeah.
Become your own niche.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting because like I want to do the lifestyle stuff, but I also want to be like a respected artist. Yep. So it's kind of, I don't want to sacrifice one for the other. Exactly. I just want to do both.
Just make sure that what you do makes sense and lines up with your brand.
And I think so, because like I feel like with moving, like the yoga thing, going there and like
that makes sense.
That makes sense because there was this one reel that I saw on Instagram, and it was someone like it was like the artist and then boom, the art, right? And someone in the comments was like, why is there this tie between gym people who are like very like gym fanatics and artists? And they were like, because like it really clears your mind, like moving your body like in comparison to just sitting at your desk all day. Like it really helps you get inspired when you're feeling stuck and stuff like that. So I think the idea of moving our body and stuff like that, I can use that and combine it with,
for sure,
with art. Especially because it's something I enjoy.
I'm about to say you do it already. It's not something that you're doing just for the gram or whatever. It's something that you actually do. It helps in your creative flow. So I think like it's important. I think it's just like having those limited beliefs of like what you can and cannot share. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'm like, it's so I think And then also I would say too that even events that you may think may not be it. I mean, there's no harm in going to them and filming them, and then you can decide after the experience if it's something you want to post or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's no reason to not go and see, because you may be surprised.
Yeah, and like you said, we never know who we meet.
You never know.
Now it gets me into like, because I'm not really good at talking to people.
That's how you get good, Sydney. It's practice.
But like, how do you like? At these types of events, right?
Well, you have me. I'm your wingman, remember?
Oh, you are the wingman.
That's right. That's why I remember when we learned from Adrian.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so scared. Oh my gosh.
That's why I'm going with you, because I'm going to be your wingman. That's what Adrian taught us.
Yeah, because guys, let me tell you, I'm the worst. Like someone will come up to me like, oh my God, I like your hair. Oh my God, you're so pretty. And then what I'll do... that sounds so, I'm not saying all that. Okay, I'm just saying it happens sometimes. But anyway, and then I'll be like, okay, thanks.
Running away.
Like I don't really hold a conversation. I don't really like I'm scared to connect with people. I think yes. So I think this will be good.
This will be good.
I think this will be good.
As a former introvert, as a recovering introvert, and there's nothing wrong with being an introvert, because I love that part of myself sometimes. But what's definitely helped me is just by doing it, And the more you do it, the more you see that it's not that hard, and the more you get confidence of doing it the next time. And now I actually enjoy being on stage and talking in front of people, which is crazy.
You don't imagine everyone in their underwear?
No, wow. I actually enjoy it. I imagine that everyone is my friend and we're just having a conversation.
Aw. Yeah, so there was this thing. Social media, I gotta get off. Because I'm about to say I saw it.
We've been talking about you getting off. Why are you back on?
On social, I just love it. I do. Like, I feel like they're making the content for me, man. There's because either it's funny, inspirational, lots of plants,
or
like
sad.
So many things I love to see. Like, but the thing about it is, anyway, there's this thing I saw on Instagram, and it was like you thinking that to people who have social anxiety. And there's obviously there's different reasons why some people might, but for me, it's like fear of judgment or whatever, right? That's part of it, right? And also, I'm just really guarded up. Like, I don't really like to, let people in, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But it was like saying how thinking that everyone is going to be mean is really you being judgmental of other people. It's, you know what I mean?
It's like a reflective thing.
It's a reflective thing because you're afraid people are going to be judging you, but look at you judging them and putting your own internal thoughts onto them.
Yeah.
Instead of like
seeing them for who they are. What you sow moment.
And that stuff, that's what got me. I'm like, man, I'm not going to assume that someone's like the worst version of themselves.
Yeah.
And project my thoughts and feelings of what they're feeling onto them.
This gets back into what I was talking about to you earlier before this podcast, which is reading The Secret, which I read twice yesterday. And there's some things that I agree with, things that I don't agree with, but a lot of it I thought was really good. And a lot of it was like on the topic of like energy attracts like energy. And so that's kind of similar to what you're saying, but it's weird, but you're exactly right that if negative energy attracts negative energy, then when the rubber meets the road, you can be fearful of receiving that because you're putting it out.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense.
Yeah. That's some real stuff.
It's some real stuff. So to fix it, you got to flip the way that you think.
And that's
which is easier said than done.
It's way easier said than done because it's so easy to do it when things are going so well for you. Because I don't know if you have this internal thought or feeling, but for me, it's so easy for me to be proud of myself when I got things to show for it.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, it's easy to give me those words of affirmation, right? But when maybe I didn't do anything to deserve kindness, or like feeling like kindness is something that needs to be earned from myself, right? When it's actually something that is essential to, like, that is a need that we all need. We all need to be kind to ourselves, and that shouldn't be a transactional thing,
right?
But for me, sometimes it is. You know what I mean? And that's something I'm working on. So like, of course, in the beginning, shifting my mindset, being more positive, like it's so easy until it's not. But I think that's just a healing journey in general. Like, it's not gonna be it's gonna be like, when you go up the mountain, you don't just go straight up. You take little zigzags, right, to get to the top, right? So I think it's kind of like that,
very
right?
similar. That makes a lot of sense. One thing in the book that it shared too, because it kind of touched on that a little bit. It mainly touched on, you want to be exuding positivity, right? And so, but how do you know when you're exuding negativity? And it's like, you can't just change what you think a lot, but you can be more observant of how you feel. So what it had to do, and I'm going to do this today, hopefully, is to create like a cheat sheet of things that make you feel good, right? Like, so for me, it's like the song, the song Broke by Teddy Swims, being out in the garden, riding with my Jeep down. And so you have like your list of things. And then when you catch yourself in that negative mood, then you can pull out your cheat sheet and go and do one of those things to like jumpstart you, kick you into a positive mood.
I love that.
I love it so much, because what I was saying was that it's really not the positive thoughts that do the attraction, is the positive actions or the positive feeling. It's the positive feelings. And so creating those feelings is what it's really all about.
That's really good, because that's something that, guess I gotta read it. Because for me, one of my bad habits is I'll keep hammering at the same thing for hours,
this
right?
Is what you need then.
Yeah, so they have like that little cheat sheet, because there have been times I have started I'm slowly learning, you know how, like,
for sure.
Yeah, because you know how, like, a kid, when they're learning their circles, their shapes, right? And they have like the little block, the little thing where they can put the shape into each one, right? I might still be trying to put the circle into the square, but I'm slowly learning that the circle goes into the circle. Like, I'm getting it, okay? It just takes me a few I gotta make sure it doesn't fit into the square.
Right.
But yeah, there's definitely been times where I'm like, okay, I'm getting frustrated. Let me go do some Pilates really quick. Just some quick 30-minute mat Pilates, take a shower, get back to it. You know what I mean? And that has helped shift my mindset a little bit, because I know that a day where I don't move my body before I work is a day where I'm going to not be as positive, happy, and focused.
That's one of my items too.
Yeah.
When I come back from the gym, I'm always in a good mood.
Yeah.
So that will be on my list.
Yeah.
So I think having that list will be a good thing, and having it at the ready.
Yeah.
One other little trick that one of the people in the book did is that he has he puts a rock in his pocket, and this is gratitude rock.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows that like whenever he has his hands in his pocket, he touches it, that he has to say something that he is grateful for.
That's
so
good.
I thought that was a cute little something too. They have like a few little tips in there that are really, really good.
That's cute. I like that, because I think sometimes when we're so focused on one thing, it can be really difficult to put things like see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
See how many things are actually like working out for me.
Exactly.
I think that's why affirmations are really good too, because it helps you put everything into perspective again, and be like, okay, the small task is just a small task.
Yeah.
The bigger picture is that I've made so much progress, and so many things are working out for me.
Yeah.
And I think so. Yeah. But, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a metamorphosis part of
your journey,
my journey in general, you know, where I'm learning new things, and I'm finally able to like identify this is what I want, and see people who inspire me and make me real, like remind me that these things are real tangible things. But something that also helped me put things in perspective was like, so there's this person that I've been following who's inspiring me for a couple years now, and her name's Tammy. We follow each other on Instagram.
Hey Tam.
It's Tam. She's probably not watching this. She's so big.
Of course she is.
But if you are Tammy, I look up to you. Anyway, so her brand is Uncomfy, right? But she made a video the other day talking about like the reasons why she is so happy that she started her small business. And when she put in perspective, and it really put everything in perspective, because she said she started it 4 years ago. And it made me realize, damn, I'm only 1 year in, and I'm expecting to be at this level of someone who's been doing it since 2020.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That put things into perspective, like, because sometimes I do wonder, why isn't this working out for me? Why am I not faster? Like, why can't I be where they are? Why are they so good at what they do and I'm still struggling?
Yeah.
And the answer is that it just takes time and consistency. And who am I to undermine their hard work and what it took for them to get to where they are, just because I want to be there faster?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so again, back to the bigger picture, like also realizing that we're like in the last clip, I think. I don't know if it was in this episode or the episode before. I think it was in our episode after this. Oops. Well, a spoiler, but we talk about how all the actions that you put into, whether it's your podcast, your business, your YouTube channel, social media, whatever it may be, it's like planting a seed to a tree.
Yeah.
And so, like, remembering that that's what it is, and eventually it's going to grow.
And it takes time to grow.
Yeah, and it takes time to bear those fruits.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Strawberries, like, that's not a tree, that's a plant.
Yes.
And and it takes time for, like, it takes years for you to actually be able to eat those strawberries, you know?
Yeah, they have their best year, a year, 2 or 3, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like, you know, just because the plant's growing too, it might take a little bit of time for you to bear those fruits. So
all good stuff.
All good stuff. But
all good stuff.
The PR stuff, it's intimidating.
But we're going to do it.
But we're going to do it.
We're going to go to yoga.
We're going to go to the yoga. And I'm glad that, like, being on their list has paid off a little bit. You know what I mean? And we're just going to see what happens, right?
I'm glad they're right here in Atlanta. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's my next action item. So I make sure that we vlog it when we go.
We have to vlog it when we go.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
I think.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good but overwhelmed.
Why are you overwhelmed?
Because, like, being a business owner is hard.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's take 5. Go on.
Being a business owner, at least on social media, is so hard and overwhelming. I think sometimes, like you said, like taking a step away is good, but then you don't want to take a step away.
Because you have so much to do.
Well, because you have so much to do, and also because then, like, what happens...
Oh, you mean from social media?
Yeah.
So what you need to do, I have all the advice, of course. And so I follow my own advice like 20% of the time. So, but you need to post and forget about it. Like, stop the scroll, post and move on. And that's why I told you to get a scheduling app. Yeah. That way you don't even have to be on it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Can we do this?
Yeah.
I just delete them from your phone.
You don't need... I love Instagram. I know. It's terrible, though. It's terrible.
Delete it from your phone. Delete it. So first, get a free scheduling app. Turn them out there. Get a free... And all you're on is Instagram, too.
Instagram and TikTok. But, like, I'm not really... I don't scroll... I don't have a problem with TikTok. Like, I don't scroll on there.
Great. But you will if we get rid of Instagram.
Yeah, so we probably should get rid of TikTok.
We're going to get rid of both of them. So we're going to find you a free app.
Wait, what about posting on stories?
Sydney.
Yes, that's important.
You can schedule those as well.
Okay.
We need to delete the apps immediately. So what we're going to do right after this, we can record it for you guys to see her, to hold her accountable. We are going to, right after this.
I'm so sad. I don't want to delete it.
I know, it's so sad. It's so bad too. It's just an app. But like, oh my gosh. Delete the app. Do you know your password?
No.
Okay. Then that's why we're going to get the scheduling app first so you can hook up your accounts to it.
Okay.
Then we're going to delete them both. We're going to do this right now. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And you're going to be happy about it. We'll report back. Okay?
How am I going to know what the trending audios are?
Because you can still use on your desktop when you need to schedule. But you won't just sit there and mindlessly scroll on your desktop. You'll just go on there, do what you need to do, and get the hell on. Okay. Anything that's on mobile, just about, you can do on desktop.
Okay.
Okay, so you can still get...
I can still post on desktop?
You can post on desktop, but we're going to get a scheduling app, so you're not even going to have to.
Okay.
But yes, you can post on desktop. And that may be the best thing to do. Right. So just log in on desktop and then just delete them up from your phone. Let's just do that.
Okay.
Because you're not going to sit there and mindlessly scroll on your desktop, are you?
No. Also, I have the app on my iPad that I don't use on my iPad. What do you think?
Will you cheat and do it?
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see if you do it.
Okay.
So right now, where is your phone? Go ahead and delete it.
Wait, I have to connect my apps.
No, we don't have to do that now because you don't need to anymore.
I don't need to.
Because you have it on your iPad,
oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's true.
So then just to go ahead and delete it. Go ahead. Go on. Right now.
Okay, guys.
Let's go.
You see, this is the Instagram app. It's going away.
And delete the TikTok one too.
Wait, let me make sure I don't have anything in my drafts that I want. I need to delete it.
It's not going to go away.
Yes, it does.
It's on. You have it on your iPad.
It says, if you uninstall the Instagram app, all your drafts will be lost. But I don't think I need these.
Okay, great.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
It's gone?
Yeah.
Maybe do the same thing for TikTok. While she's doing this, you guys, some of y'all may need to be doing the same thing too. Just saying.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I feel lonely. I feel lonely.
And you know what we're about to go do now? We're about to go outside and take a walk.
Okay, I love walks. I do actually.
We're gonna get plants. Let's look at my green stalk. I put some stuff in the green stalk over the weekend, and we're going to go to the greenhouse.
You just want to do what you want to do.
What do you want to do?
I guess I want to look at your green stalk.
We will report back on how we're feeling. You got anything else to say?
Why was this such a big deal for me?
Why was that such a big deal for you?
I think I just really like Instagram, but I know that I probably should delete the app. Like I don't. Here's the deal. Oh my gosh, this is such a long part 2.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Here's the deal. I don't feel good when I get on Instagram and I scroll. There's some things, don't get me wrong, there's some things that are really funny. Like people on there are really good at their jobs. Really good at their jobs.
But overall,
like I don't leave the app feeling good. I leave the app feeling drained
Right.
and kind of sad and like comparisons a
Yeah.
thing. And yeah, so
It's literally toxic
yeah, like, but
in a lot of cases.
and it was really funny because I was watching a YouTube video
Mhm.
and so someone mentioned this because they were like, why you should start a YouTube channel, just less watching.
Yeah.
And the person also mentioned like they don't, as an artist and as a person, they don't feel good being on Instagram because you're trying to chase these trends.
Yeah.
You're trying to whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I notice I feel good watching things that make me feel good, which are usually longer form things. If any things I can get something from.
Exactly.
Like, what am I getting from 30-second videos?
Nothing.
Like, nothing.
Imposter syndrome is what you're getting.
Yeah, at least.
Discouragement.
And it's not saying that all the videos on there are trash.
No,
It's just like, this is my problem. It's my problem.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with their content.
No, it just has to do with my mindset.
How you feel when you're watching it.
Yeah. I don't feel good.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll just help me create more content that is true and authentic to me too, which I've been wanting to do, but it's also hard to not look at other people, right?
Right.
So, because you can learn from other people, but there's an extent.
Yeah. Right. So we're done with that. And you're still going to be creating the same amount of stuff, but you just do it on your desktop or on your iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the garden.
All right, guys.
Are we good?
Well, thanks for watching.
Bye, you guys. Thank you for listening to Leaf Knows. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment below and let us know what your takeaway was. Or if you're listening, take a screenshot, post on social media with your takeaway. This will help us reach more small business owners just like yourself. If you would like to leave us a review, head over to your favorite podcast app and drop that 5-star rating. Your feedback helps others find our show. And until next time, we hope your business takes root and grows.